we're back home. I want to see what the carnage is on the diff. It wasn't too unhappy, like it just made a couple pop sounds. Grabbed the front of the pinion and could shake it a little bit. Got it back to the cabin. Now we're gonna do a little inspection. Oh, it's just water. I did just wash it, so there's a little water around here, but let's drain this fluid and see what's going on. Hopefully we don't find any big chunks. If I can save the ring gear and the pinion, that'd be awesome. If it's just that pinion bearing, the tail end of the pinion bearing, and I gotta replace that and maybe just replace all the bearings, we should be dialed. Let's just only hope that I don't get a bunch of chunks coming out of this. And it did leak just a little bit of fluid, but as you can see, there's plenty of fluid in there. It's brand new fluid, changed it right before I left. Oh, there's a needle bearing. Okay. So we did find a needle bearing. A little bit of glitter. Couple of little chunks in there. Try to push it to the outside. I should have screened it. I already know it's screwed and I gotta pull it all apart. Okay, so that's good news. It's looking like it's just that needle bearing. It's on the end of the pinion. Hold this up real quick for you guys that haven't pulled the YXZ diff apart. So there's this bearing right here that goes on the tip of the pinion, and that's the one that takes a lot of shock, especially when you're clutch dumping it like I was. I know everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, your Packer diffs suck, Packer billet diffs suck. Just take this into account. I'm into this diff less than the $800 OEM 2019 diff. If you could have a billet diff for the same price as an OEM diff, might as well just take the billet diff. If you gotta rebuild it once in a while, not a big deal. One bearing, maybe a couple other bearings. We'll do an inspection on them. Hope I caught it in time to where everything's good. We'll see. I have a spare 19 diff that's in the toy hauler. I could throw that in. I'd like to just rebuild this, throw this back in, and see if we can get another 500 miles out of it. My odometer on this diff, I reset the odometer right before we went to Glamis to kind of keep track of it, and it's at 511 miles. But that's 511 hard miles. Like, I've clutch dumped, kicked, I've abused this diff pretty good. Definitely a stock diff was not gonna handle this. All right, here's our final carnage. It doesn't look that bad right now. This hole's pretty small, so you never know what we're gonna find in there. So first things first, I like to get it up off the ground. I do have that Weller Racing bracket right under the diff, so that helps with jacking up right here. Alright, sorry, the battery ended up dying on the big camera. I'll switch over to the GoPro. Maybe the angles will be a little bit better for you guys to kind of see what's going on versus being clear over here. Alright, we're gonna see if we can slide the diff any which way without having to pull everything. I really don't want to pull that Weller brace. That's gonna suck. Oh, heard a washer. Hit the stand. Got eyes on it. Need to pull this brace. So I ended up putting a nylon locking nut on the back of this, because when I got this machine, somebody stripped this one out pretty good. You always want to check your diff braces, all these welds. Honestly, these guys did a shitty job welding these. I mean, any of these frames on side by side we've seen the Maverick R. There we go. So I do have the Alba coupler and the Alba sleeve. Helps if this is out of the way. Oh yeah, just load it up with grease. That'll make a huge mess. We'll come through and degrease the whole dang thing. Oh yeah, you gotta leave the washer. Forgot about this. This thing's such a pain in the ass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Please be enough room, because I do not want to pull you all the way out. Oh my gosh. This thing comes out this way. Let's go. Alright. I don't know if you could do that with an OEM diff. Well, she's out. Alright, GoPro battery died, so we had to reset real quick. And we're splitting it right now. Trying to. I think this guy's still holding us up a little bit. There we go. This guy's finally letting loose. Just need to go around it. Is that an O-ring that they use? Shit. So, it's not looking very good on the gear set. Can definitely tell which bearing's going. A little crunchy in that bearing. Yay. Let's finish splitting this apart. Ooh. Hello. Oh yeah, that's not good. Found where the chunks of aluminum are coming from. Should start separating. Holy cow. We're finding all kinds of gold. Okay, so there's one washer. Save that. Here's another one. Oh yeah, that sucker's in pieces. Alright, we got the diff out. All torn apart. Not looking the best. The gear set mainly looks like the pinion is the one that got kind of the most damage, but no chunks, no big scars. This bearing that goes in the front is definitely gone because this pinion bearing, this is the one I was thinking that went. It did. It's in pieces over here. This is what's left of it. So all the needles left it. It's pretty good carnage. So then this was just sitting in here, just bouncing around. So when that's bouncing around, the next thing it's gonna eat is this front bearing. So we definitely need this front bearing, this bearing, and then just probably replace this bearing. She's a little loose. The ring gear looks pretty good though. For the most part, it took some good abuse. Case is still full. I gotta go get some brake clean it all out. But this side of the case looks really good. Looks really nice actually. Just needs to be cleaned. No big damage that I can see. Just a bunch of chunks of metal. This case. So this one got beat up pretty good in some spots. Nothing that's not fixable. I don't think it's a big deal if these voids are open. I'm gonna have to clean this up for sure. And where that bearing sits, I'm gonna talk with Packard, see if this is gonna be acceptable enough. It should be. As long as that bearing cap bites down. The race that holds all the needles in. I am thinking about doing like a t-shirt line, seeing about if you guys like shirts, if we can do some shirts. Something that would just help. I mean, I'm out here sending this Z for these videos. I used to not drive like this. I used to be a little more calm, but it's kind of better to show what these things can do, ripping them at full bore. So, looking at doing t-shirts to kind of maybe help fund all of this. Let me know in the comments, would you guys be interested in shirts? I'll come up, I have cool designs already, like some good stuff. I don't even want to say it yet. So, let me know if that'd be something you guys would be interested in.